Welcome to Coffee Talk with Jay. You're here for a very, very exciting show indeed. Very, very exciting show indeed. Welcome back to LJ's Comic Burrow. Like I said, my name is Jay, and I'm really, really sorry for this late show. Normally, I usually drop on Wednesday and a Thursday. I know it's Friday morning, ain't that late. But dear God, it's fucking 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm usually in bed by now. As you can tell, I'm a little, like I said, I don't pick up my books right away. I usually wait 2 weeks. And these are the books that I had to read and go through last night. I started reading around 1 o'clock and I just finished just now. Holy shit, that's a lot of books. But a lot of good a lot of good books. Some not so much, but that's fine. Well, let's get right into this. First things first. If you like my show, if you like what I'm talking about, you like the dumb, stupid stuff I'm doing, and dear God, if you like the sound of my voice as much as I do, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. The best thing about doing this show is actually talking to people that are also reading or collecting books. I'd like to know what kind of books that you guys are reading, or what storylines you guys are into, and what new books you guys are looking forward to getting. Personally, I'm going to be honest with you right now. I'm looking forward to that Godzilla, King Kong, and Justice League. I know it's probably going to be a shitty storyline. I really don't have much faith in the big, huge crossovers. It's just, it's got a 90 percentile of it just being stupid and shitty. But the graphics should be amazing. The covers look phenomenal. So here's the hope, please. So like I said, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It'd be awesome. First things first. Let's do this, all right? Like I said, here's all the books I had to read last night. Started at 1 o'clock. But I did save some of the better ones for last, and I'll talk about them first, actually. The first book I'm going to show you here is Batman Catwoman, the Gotham War, #1. It's a single issue anyway. But great tie-in, awesome art. It really does make the story flow. To see between, what's going on between Selina and the Red Hood. I absolutely love how they're starting to tie things together and really get them to flow very nicely compared to some storylines that I'm reading right about now. But they do have a very unique chemistry between the two of them. And some fucking spoilers. To watch him train her people and sit there and fuck them up royally, it's fucking awesome. I am going to say this. I didn't like Todd as Robin, but I sure love him as fucking Red Hood because he gets to do stupid shit, and it's definitely really cool. Next thing I'm going to tell you about is Catwoman number 57. That was the next one to read in this order. Like I said, I know I'm a little behind for this week, but this is the book I'm going to talk about now. This is an amazing book. The artwork is phenomenal. Look, it's got a little DNA thing too. So somebody's blood was in this, With all those COVID people, you'd be like, "Oh my God!" No, it's I'm one of those COVID people too. So, but like I said, this is a great, great story so far. Chip has an amazing supporting cast going around him, and like I said, I will talk about another storyline that I'm reading later. It doesn't flow as well. What they're doing over here in DC with this storyline is amazing, phenomenal. I can't praise it any more than what I am at this point in time. Now, will it fall apart? There's a possibility. I started liking a few of the other storylines that I read and just thought to myself after the 30th or 40th issue that I had to read for it. I thought to myself, why the fuck am I doing this? This is bullshit. This is the worst storyline I've ever read. But so far, Chip, great job. Great job, great job, great job for picking the people in your supporting cast. Good. Now I'm going to tell you about a shitty book. All right, Death of Venomverse, number 4. If any of you guys are reading this and are enjoying this book, please, I'd love to be able to talk to you. I want to know what you're enjoying about, other than Venom Boy. And there's really only one Venom Boy. It's fucking Brock Dillon. Do something with him. Now you created a Venom Boy that now is going to have a new comic book. That's That's bullshit and it's garbage. Why the fuck would you do that when you had a perfectly fine Dylan Brock? It's not my fault Ram V can't write shit for him. And I like Ram V. I absolutely enjoyed his last Swamp Thing story that he did. It was acclaimed. People enjoyed it. People asked for more. It went from 12 to 15 to 16 issues. So it's not that Ram V can't write. He just can't fucking write for Dylan Brock. So find something that he can do. But other than that, yes, Venom Boy is closer to the end of this story. But either way, this is a bullshit story. Unfortunately, I got it for the cover art. I do like the other. I do love... I do enjoy the artist. But to say anything else, the story is a waste of time. This gets 2 thumbs down and a big fuck you. Because that's all this is really worth. Here's a great story that I'm absolutely enjoying. It's a fun story. The last time it took a little time to get through it, but I am going to say this: Guardian Galaxy number 6, and this is the cover I went with because I'm a huge Howard the Duck fan. Peach Momoko, fucking phenomenal. I absolutely love, and I hope they really do start like another Howard the Duck series. I would be behind it. I would love to see him in the interaction between him and Man-Thing. It would be fucking phenomenal. But unfortunately, they're just going to sit here and praise him and do this. Wait a minute. I lie. There is a Howard the Duck series coming out. I apologize. I did sign up for that thing. Sorry, a little bit in the back of my head. So there is a Howard the Duck series coming out. It's, I think, a one-shot. I think Chip Zdarsky is in charge of that. So it should be good. But I would like to see a series. Something a little longer than just a one-shot. I would love to see maybe like a 10-issue series of Howard the Duck. He saved the multi-universe already, guys. He's already saved the multi-universe from zombies. Why the fuck can't you at least give him another fucking run? But apart from that, this is a great issue. You can see the regret in the Guardians of the Galaxy's eyes because of them not stopping Groot before things gone too far. This is a phenomenal series. I absolutely tell you, if you can find the back issues for this is definitely one of those series that if you love the movies, you would love this series. So please, go get it. Fuck. All right, I did the best 5 crossover storylines, and it actually blew up. I couldn't believe I actually got over 100 views for that. And then I did the 5 worst, and people were like, "No, I don't want to talk about that." All right, the reason why I did that was because of this series right here. Now I can't find. Damn it. Cover A. If I can find it, I can join it. God, there's just so many books. Nope. Give me a second. I feel like I should pause it. Alright, fuck. Might as well get these all out of the way at one time. There's 1 I read, 2 I got just because I'm a Tom McFarlane mark, so what the fuck, why not? So, If you guys have not picked this book up and put yourself on this series, please do. Holy fuck. It really does describe it really does tell the story of how long Logan has been around, how long the Predator's been around, and their interaction that they did in the 1900s, early 1900s. This is a phenomenal story. Oh God, I'm so glad I got this. I knew it needed one thing, or two things: blood and fucking cursing. This thing needed to be rated R, straight out of the fucking gate, and it was. It's got blood, it's got cursing, it's adult themed, it's fucking phenomenal. And I'm going to say this right now, Benjamin Percy, you deserve an award for fucking at least one issue. I don't know if I'm going to say that throughout the rest of the series, but dear God, at least for the one fucking issue, this is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It can either go up or it's going to fucking shit the toilet, and all of a sudden you'll be like, Jay, because of you, I got these issues and they fucking suck. I'm sorry, I can't take the blame for that, but I can tell you at least I'm joining you. I'm joining you in on this adventure. So please, if you get a chance, pick up this. This is an amazing series, and I'm going to show you the other two covers that I got here. All right, like I said, I'm a Todd McFarlane fan. I'm a huge mark of his, and when they came out with this and this little homage to Todd McFarlane, come on, that's some fucking cool shit. All right. That's fucking badass. I love it. Yeah. And it fits the series, the attitude, everything. This is one of those series. I'm telling you right now. At least try out the first book. See if I'm right. If you guys are fucking read it already, please leave a message. I'd love to be able to hear what you think of that series. Now, this is the book I haven't read yet. All right. So I don't know. I can't talk about it yet. Unfortunately, I do have to pick up cover A, which reminds me I got to make a little call, a little ringing on the little dingy over to my comic book to see if they have cover A for this series, because I fucked up. I just ordered the shiny issue. So to get to it, new series of The Flash is out, and yes, I got the shiny. I also ordered issues 2, 3, and 4 because I really did want to find out what that run looks like. What I will say is they got high marks on this. Most people out of 5 stars gave this at least a 4.5. So people were enjoying the shit out of it. So it must have a unique and great writing team, good artwork, but it has a nice shiny cover. So I got it. I don't know if you guys can see that really well. I do enjoy some Flash, so I can't wait to get that cover A and add it to my collection and actually get a chance to read it. This is unfortunately another book I haven't got to read. See, I deal with 2 different comic stores. I deal with Four Corners up here in Gettysburg, and I also deal with one here in New York, it's the Comics Connection. Both excellent, amazing owners, willing to go out of their way to do whatever you can to get the book that you need or want. Both of them are willing to actually put it aside so you can pay it down to make sure that you do end up with whatever book that you're trying to get, depending on how expensive it is. So can't complain about that. But unfortunately, I got issues 1 and 2 from them, and I do have issue 1, but I didn't want to continue because issue 2 is over at Four Corners. I haven't got called for my box yet, so I can't tell you anything about this. I haven't read 2. I refuse just to read 3 and tell you if it's good or not. But Moon Knight, City of the Dead, I know issue 1 was really good, but issue 3, this is the cover that I actually went with, so I think this is cover A. So if you're a Moon Knight fan, I read the first issue. That was phenomenal. So if you are a Moon Knight fan, I'm telling you, this is definitely probably one of those series that you want to pick up. But I personally cannot tell you about this, so I'm not going to lie to you. I'm excited to read it. Oops, sorry. Another little treat that came out, I think, last week or the week before. I can't narrow it down yet. Is Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, starring Adam Starr. And if you love the spatial universe, you love any of that crazy shit out there. Before there was Jim Starlin, motherfucking Jack the King Kirby was doing it well before, doing a phenomenal job, telling an awesome story. I absolutely love this book. I know most people probably, if they picked it up, they just did it because of the Jack Kirby art, but it really was a good story. It didn't even take very long to even make it through. I think I read it maybe 5 minutes because he just wrote it out so he simplified everything in it. And you got to think about some of the language that was used back then for this issue. You sit there and you read it. It's like I can see it. This is 1950s. Okay. It's nothing like serious of racial or anything. It's just more of how he describes certain things. It's definitely very unique way. I can hear my grandma or somebody sitting there saying the same dumb shit. So, if you love Jack Kirby, and you love his art, and you love his storytelling, this is definitely one of those that you should add. No, obviously you can't get a signature or anything of it, but dear God, this is definitely a really cool book to own. This was really cool. This is actually the beginning of a really cool series. I am on issue 2. I read it last night. Immortal Thor. Watching Thor mature to where he's at this point in time is awesome. It's not the brashness of Thor, back from series 100 to whatever 400, whatever. This is a very mature Thor. This is a Thor thinking 10 steps ahead of what he once did. He's not just jumping into fights. He's thinking about everything that goes into that fight. He's thinking about basically how this fight might affect other people. And the graphics in this and the characters he fights, I should say the main villain that he fights in this, I will tell you, is phenomenal. This is only issue 2 has come out, so if you trust anything that I say to you, okay, Al Ewing is an amazing writer. Combine that with the amazing covers and the awesome artwork that they have inside. This is one of those books you definitely should pick up. If you loved Immortal Hulk, you'll absolutely love this series. Okay? And you can't go wrong because it has a George Perez cover. Yes, absolutely. George fucking Perez cover. I am Thor. No, I'm telling you straight up. This is one of those series. If you can go out, start the series, it's definitely one of those books that you should definitely read. So I implore you to please go out, pick it up. I'd love to be able to have this conversation with you after you read the first 2 issues. So. Now this one I didn't get because I was ever going to read it. I absolutely hate the character. I think he's too fucking goody-goody. It's the same reason why I don't like Superman. Too fucking goody-goody. Alright? Don't get me wrong, I like the guy who always makes the right decisions, but for once in your life, make a really bad, shitty decision that fucks everything up. That'll make everything right with me. That'll put the world at ease. That'll probably make me even want to go pick up the book. Instead, they did get me on the George Perez cover. Captain America, #1. Because we need another #1. Sure. Marvel. There's not more money on #1s. You could have added this to 1,155, and I would have still picked the son of a bitch up. It's fucking George Perez, for Christ's sakes. So, like I said, this is Captain America the 5th or 6th #1. If you like George Perez, though, this is an awesome cover. The only way that George Perez knows how to do is amazing artwork. It's the reason why I picked it up. I don't get that. All right, so the last series I'm going to talk to you about is that Fall of X series. Now, the thing about the Fall of X, one, I have enjoyed it. I absolutely have enjoyed it. It's a little hard to follow because they are a little cryptic about how to follow the series. It's almost like they kind of give you, like, it's like an open world Grand Theft Auto. Okay, they kind of tell you, here's your missions, and there you go. You know, you steal a car, get to your mission, or steal a bike, or whatever the fuck you're going to steal. Whenever you get there, you can run there if you really want to. But dear God, you have to get there. You have to accomplish the mission to go and work on something else. You know, there's like 5 or 6 missions it's open to you at all times. Complete open world. It's kind of like how this is. This could be an amazing series if they tied it down a little bit, gave you direction on how to read it, and maybe had a little bit more conversation between some of the writers. Duggan has a great cast around. He really does. The individual books are really good. And I'm going to talk about one just now. And if you watched any of my videos, I actually have been showing this series in the supposedly correct order that you're supposed to read them. But like I said, it's open world. You can read it any way you want to, I guess. The first book I'm going to show you, though, is Uncanny Spider-Man. So far, this is one of my favorite series in this issue. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love his dynamic with Spider-Man. I love how he wants to be the hero. I love how he really is trying to find his way in New York City and trying to be the hero and talk like the hero and be snarky and shit. He tries so hard and ultimate failure, but it's fun watching him try to be the next big thing. So this is definitely one of those series. Even if you're not following the Fall of X, perfect book. I absolutely love it. Now, the next one you're supposed to be reading is Uncanny Avengers #2. I like this one too. This is a fun series. The only thing is it's like a really bad cold open. All right, it's not like a continuation of what's going on at that time. It kind of like puts you in a couple weeks in advance, and you just pretty much you're jumping right into a war that you don't even know that you're in. With little explanation. But I have enjoyed this series, and not because of Captain America. It's actually because they're telling Captain America he's got to take the back seat. We're tired of the goody two-shoe shit. So I'm going to tell you, this is the next issue you should have read after the Uncanny Spider-Man, and it really is a fun issue. Great writer. Like I said, Duggan has a great cast of characters. It's just they got to tie it up just a little bit more, make things a little bit more neat, and then guide you in the direction that they want you to read the book. And that's the problem with Marvel and having so many different books involved. This is how it really should be. For the publishing company, it should be Marvel, should be DC, should be Image, should be Boom. It could be any of those other ones, and then another one should be X-Men. That's where it should be. Like, there's so many X-Men books out there. God just tie it down just a little bit. The story didn't need to flow through, I think, everything and get everybody trying to be involved. They could maybe just mention it, like, okay, there's something going on over there, and they did, and for some odd reason they still tell you it's a part of the series. I don't know. This one finally started talking about the Fall of X, and getting you a little bit more involved. Because that first issue, you're almost like, why did I have to read that? This one actually puts it together. This is the Dark X-Men #2. This is a better issue than what the first one. You're seeing why Hell and what problems Hell is going through, and while the whole fall of X is going on, you get to see the different problems she's dealing with in her ruling, and her boyfriend, and it's just God. And then, like, the characters, I know I'm not making sense without being a complete spoiler about it. And yes, I was spoiler about other things. I didn't really want you to spoil this. This is your money. You should be racing to read what this is. But I will say this was a lot better than issue #1. It got more people involved. It got the cast involved. And they were a little bit more involved about what was going on with the Fall of X and their main storyline plot. And that's pretty much all I can say, without just telling you everything that happened and the end result. So this is definitely a fun series. The next one you're supposed to be reading after that is Alpha Flight #2. I've said this before and I'll say this again. They need to bring Alpha Flight back. All right? Go Canada on this. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love how they're trying to be, without ruining anything, how they're trying to play both sides and be undercover and try to help their fellow mutants. Pretty much, not the biggest spoiler, but I mean, you gotta think about it. It's fucking Alpha Flight. They're going to do the right thing, and I'm going to tell you, I absolutely love Alpha Flight. I hope they really do bring it back after this. So this is another great series in this. I know I've mentioned now two series I absolutely love. The one I really like, and then there's the Dark X-Men. Now, my wife reads Wolverine. I do not read Wolverine. I had to read 2 different books with a Wolverine in it. The other book being Wolverine. Wolverine issue #37. I absolutely love this cover. I canceled cover A for this cover for my wife because I didn't even ask for permission. I saw this cover and I was like, fuck, this reminds me of almost like a Jim Lee kind of cover. So I picked this up, added this to her collection, especially if I have to read it. I wanted to look at something really fucking cool before I read it. But this really didn't hit on Fall of X yet. It mentioned it maybe in the beginning, it mentioned it at the end, and maybe hopefully it dives right into it, and you start seeing what Wolverine has to do with, with the whole orchid going on, the whole problem. Children of the Vault. You're hoping to see this soon, but not in this issue. If you're getting into this issue, it's because you absolutely love Wolverine. The story was good. I will say that. The story was good. It was well written. Percy, who also wrote the Predator, Logan versus Wolverine versus the Predator, and he also writes Ghost Rider series, does a phenomenal job. Will I start reading Wolverine because of it? Probably not. I don't have all the money to start collecting everything I fucking like. I gotta pick and choose. Dear God, I'm already 2 weeks behind. How much fucking further do you want me to be? But no, I'm gonna say this. Hopefully it does become a little bit more involved with what's going on out there in the main storyline. Now, what they said comes next isn't what comes next, because it kind of had a spoiler in the next book. So, I rearranged it for you. The next book you're supposed to read is The Invincible Iron Man, number 10. And yes, fucking George Perez also. They're still doing it. Fucking George Perez. Thank you, fucking Marvel. This is the one thing you did right this year, was release a shitload of George Perez covers that you absolutely stole every penny that I fucking earned to make sure I get them all. But thank you, and thank you. But it kind of looks like the last Iron Man could have did something a little different. But whatever, it's fucking George Perez. So I'm ecstatic about that. That being said, to see the engagement between the two main characters in the story without ruining it, honestly, cover A, I think cover A and cover B are cover A of this, and then X-Men is their cover A is combined, so it really does have like the spoiler right there of Frost and Iron Man getting married. Spoiler. Sorry. But I won't tell you about why or what's going on. I won't do that, but cover A has already been revealed, so. That being said, this is an amazing issue. I love how they got another character that's barely used in stories like this and got him involved. I will say that Duggan did an awesome job doing so. I wish they would actually use more characters like that for storylines. Like characters, instead of grabbing the Hulk, Spider-Man, Wolverine, or whatever, grab characters that you never fucking see together and just have them have a crossover storyline. That would be really fucking cool. Because now you're reading about characters that most people usually don't read or pick up. You get them involved. See, Marvel? You should have hired me. I've got ideas. Just not all good. But this is one of those perfect issues. Like I said, it's George Perez. You can't go wrong with getting a George Perez cover. And on to what they said we should have read before the Iron Man, but you don't, because the spoiler of everything was going on in that issue. I should say this issue between Kamala and Frost and Iron Man. But this is, for some odd reason, this is actually, if you read the other books, this is like a little thinner issue. Whoever is writing this, and I wish, usually I'm a lot better at just looking at, Vellini, I think that's how you pronounce it. You did an awesome job, and you got me involved. You got me wanting to continue reading her story, and I hope one day that you actually pick up her story and just continue to run with it, because I don't usually like Miss Marvel. I actually didn't even care for the story, and I think it was because they made it too kiddie, too girly, and I'm not against kiddie or girly. It's just, it wasn't drawing me personally. It drew my wife in, but it didn't draw me in. This actually drew me in, and it got me engaged. It got me wanting to read this book. So, congratulations, awesome issue. But that's what you should be reading after Iron Man. Now, this one I think you could read anywhere. Personally, shit, you don't even need to fucking read The Fall of X to read this, because I'm in love with this storyline. This is Jean Grey, number 2, Louise Simonson. Thank you, fucking thank you. You hit another home run. I wish you would have had another George Perez cover, but, I won't fault you for that. You didn't get to pick that. And if you did, you should have told me. But either way, perfect book, amazing series. You could have probably read it anywhere, but it's basically Jean's subconscious telling the story of her past, and I guess whatever she's going through right now. This is definitely one of those. If you love Jean Grey, it's a perfect storytelling, and Louise Simonson's doing an amazing job. So this is definitely one of those. All right. last but not least, this is the last book that you should be reading until I talk to you again. Not next week, the week after. This is Realm of X. This has a lot to do with the fall. Out of all these books, this probably has more connection to the Fall of X than all of them. This is actually having a direct effect with what's going on with the mutants and where they're located at this point in time and what's happening with them. So, out of all these books and all these side stories and all this stuff's going on, this is your main storyline, guys, right here. They put it in Realm of X. At least they followed a little bit through with it, kind of advanced the story, the main storyline, and they have to every week when you're sitting there buying a book, one of them should be advancing these stories. And this week it was Realm of X. And the sad part, it wasn't my favorite. This was my favorite of this week. So, those are the books here. Those are all the books that I had to go through, and it's already this. Dear God, this thing is already 36 minutes long. So the last thing I'm going to say to you. Before I look dorky, or even dorkier, should say, or nerdier than I already do, is thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for watching my show. Because of you, I've already gotten over 900 views, and my wife looks at that number and goes, "I can't believe somebody looked at you 900 times." I was like, "You wake up to me every day." She said, "That's me because, you hit me over the head like a caveman." No. But I want to thank you all very much for that. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you, the conversation, the back between us. I absolutely love it. Thank you very, very much. And the most important thing, and that is, if you're going to get an animal, make sure you try your local rescues first. There's tons of animals down there. Some of them are even so many animals they're waving their feet at this moment. Make sure you do the knowledge. Make sure you read and learn about the animal that you're about to pick up, because there could be stuff that you might not know, and that could hurt them in the end. So, from my family to your family, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'll see you all next week.